Welcome back, everyone, to my third interview, and I am here with my new guest, EddieHatesAnime, who was chosen by Seth the Sin. How are you doing today, my man?
I am doing amazing. Thanks for having me on, man.
No problem. It was a blast of the past couple two, and I look forward to this one a lot. I hope your takes are really good, like the other two.
They definitely will be.
So, obviously, if you want to introduce yourself real quick, you can. I forgot to do that with Seth.
Alright. Hey, guys. I am EddieHatesAnime, anime connoisseur, an elitist of sorts. I am a manga king, and everything I say is factual, no competition. Like, it's not even my opinion, it's just facts. So don't try and go against it.
Well, you heard it here, folks. I'm gonna respect every opinion he has. Clearly, he chose the background for Rent a Girlfriend, so I still have not seen the anime, but he has said that it's good. All the anime has said it's good, so I look forward to it.
That it is good. I said it.
I look forward to it. So the very first question, we gotta get the obvious one out of the way. What is your favorite anime, your least favorite, and your favorite character?
Okay, my favorite anime of all time is Evangelion. Mostly, yeah, it's Evangelion. And my least favorite, I don't know if I have a least favorite, to be honest, because I try and like find the good parts of every anime I want. Yeah, I don't know if I can answer that one. But favorite character, damn.
2,000 years later.
Give me a moment.
6.5 hours later.
No.
Day 2, day 3, day 4. A few moments later. 1 eternity later.
I think it's a tie between two characters that are actually very different.
Okay.
Between Lelouch and Violet Evergarden.
Okay.
So those are my two favorites.
Violet was a really good character. I don't think she's in my top 50 or top 100, but Lelouch is like top 20, top 10. I love Lelouch. So
yeah, Lelouch is dope.
like, especially the ending, which I won't spoil it because that ending's the almost like the best ending in anime. You can debate me on whatever you want, but it is the best.
And I'm gonna be looking back at this later, like, why didn't I say this person or that person? Because my mind is drawing blanks right now.
Oh, it's one of the hardest questions to answer. Mine is Gintoki, just because it's like one of those characters that I know. My number one is always just, I think my number 1 and 2 hasn't changed for a long time, and that's Gintoki's number 1 and Itachi's number 2. But it just,
Ooh, Itachi's one of my faves too.
So
I haven't seen Gintama.
Gintama is amazing. I really recommend that. I can see why people doesn't want to watch it, because for me, I didn't get hooked on until episode 70. Like, it was still enjoyable, don't get me wrong, through the episodes, but it was just like hard to get into because the first 3 episodes or so is filler, and those episodes were decent. But after episode 70, I would say is like it gets extremely freaking good. And then I was hooked on it, and I couldn't stop watching it. Other than that, like, I just like Gintama a lot. So, I saw that your first video was 5 months ago. I don't know if this was true or not, but...
yeah.
So, I can only assume that this is where you started with your channel. What was your main goal when you first made the YouTube channel? Or that video, that very first video?
Well, honestly, I was really bored. I've actually had a YouTube channel before, which nobody really knows this, but it was a real life channel, like not an anime thing, and I like showed my face and stuff. But that was a while ago. That was like 2 years ago. It only got like to 200 subscribers or so, and that was a complete failure. And I was like, I don't want to do that again. I want to do something different and, you know, do stuff that I actually like, not just like stuff that's just like vlogging and stuff. So anime, I love anime, so I decided to make this channel and not show my face, so it wouldn't just be supported by people that I know, people that are going to help me because they know me. I would rather get a fan base of people that don't know me and like me for my content. And I just kind of, I just kind of wanted to make, I guess, something different. And I also didn't want to take the same path that like every AniTuber does and make the same type of content as them. Yeah, that's about it.
I can see that. Like, my content is similar to certain people, but I'm like the in-between I would say 3 people. Believe it or not, I'm like the in-between of anime, Nostaku, and all-day anime. Like, that's my style of content, just like right in the middle.
Rant Cafe, the channel.
Yeah, I'm just Rant Cafe. Like, all them put into one is me. This abomination of me.
Child.
I agree. Like, don't get me wrong. Most of my channel is different in many ways because I have my own personality and all that, but I just have similar type of videos and all that. And my goal is obviously I would love to become a YouTuber, but I just want something to do for fun. And this was one of the best things. I can't really talk about anime to my family because none of them really care about it. So
Yeah.
it's like, okay.
Another thing, like finding people to actually be able to talk about anime with is pretty neat.
And that's some of my friends I can, but some of my friends are just casual watchers and they only seen like 50, and that's about it.
No. Fuck. Dude, everyone at my fucking school only watches shonen. Like, so the fact that I watch anything besides shonen is a taboo. And they're like, what? What is that? Where's the punching? Where's the screaming? I'm like, shut up. I'm trying to watch them kiss and hold hands, damn it.
Kaguya-sama Love is War, man.
Oh, love me, mister. Oh, mister.
Yes.
You love that shit.
Dude, I cannot recommend Kaguya-sama enough. Actually, though, that's not completely true, because two friends from my school that are in anime like I am are Smudge Talks and Dr. Joestar. That's another thing I forgot to touch on when I started my channel. Okay, let me go back to that thing real quick. So when I also had another thing when I started my channel, because the channel didn't come first. What came first was the Weebordo podcast, which isn't going right now, but we started it. We had one episode out, and that's where I got the name Eddie Hates Anime, because I started it with Smudge, who's also a YouTuber. Dr. Joestar, he's also a YouTuber, and we all live like a mile away from each other. So we started this podcast, and then like a week after, that's when I decided to make my first video, and we said, okay, the three of us are gonna do YouTube together, and we're gonna all make it. That's what the goal is, and we're gonna bring back the podcast soon. That's where we're gonna do our face reveals, actually. Hopefully sometime this month, we are going to bring back the podcast. It'll be in person, it'll have a camera, and all that cool stuff. So yeah, it's another piece of my journey.
For question number 3, my first video that I saw yours that I watched was actually your Hunger Games video, and this was before I actually subscribed to you. I was looking at ideas for YouTube videos, and I saw Hunger Games. I saw I think it was, I want to say Noble, and then I saw yours video, which was in my recommended, which is like, nice. It was a very small YouTube. I'm like, never saw this. And I had a blast. So it was a really great video. And I do some of those on my own channel. Like I said, I do Waifu Wars, I do the Anime Hunger Games. I need to do more of that. But what is some of your favorite moments from that series of yours?
Definitely not editing it. Hate editing those. My favorite moments is probably whenever I get ahead of myself and then I end up getting eliminated. That's pretty funny. I'm actually working on AnyTube Total Drama Island right now.
Okay.
I don't know if you saw that, but I put out me and What If Universe, we were choosing our teams and whatnot, like team captains. But we have the first like part of it coming out Saturday or Sunday. So we're kind of taking the series in a different direction with Total Drama Island instead of Hunger Games.
I did see the picking of your teams. I saw you had the Anime Man, the Anime Dude, and Brigo, and a couple others. I look forward to that. I really do.
Yeah, out here.
So, for number 4, what are some of your favorite types of content to make, and who are your favorite people to do collabs with if you get the opportunity to?
Okay, so that's another thing about my channel. So lately, I noticed that I've kind of gotten to the cliche of making like the same things that everyone else has been making, which I didn't want to do when I started my channel. So I kind of took a step back, and I'm like, okay, I'm out here putting out videos every three videos a week, but they're not exactly the greatest quality. So I'm gonna do one video a week or one video whenever it comes out, and they're gonna be up to my standards of how good they should be, which would be the more personal, like not necessarily personal videos, but like you can tell that my personality's there. It's not just something any YouTuber would make. It's something that is unique to me, and so like, I don't want no tier lists. I don't want no like easy make videos that everyone can do. I'm just trying to do unique stuff, and hopefully that's where I'm going with my channel now. And if I could collab with anybody, that's a good question actually. I would want to collab with Corridor Crew. That is the biggest like not gonna happen ever, but Corridor Crew is amazing. In high school, or I'm still in high school, but not now, but I used to do film and stuff, and I used to go to state competitions for it, and Corridor Crew was a huge inspiration to me when I started all that, and they're amazing. Another collab though, another one that's never gonna happen, but since I'm a musician And since she's a musician, Hatsune Miku, hit me up. Damn it. I'll do a song with the Vocaloid someday. I guarantee it.
I can't wait for that day. I think mine is pretty simple. All I want is Brigo. I love Brigo so much. I think he's probably one of my favorite ones.
He is great.
He's one of the people I like who inspired me to do a YouTube channel. Sorry about the tractor outside. My dad's mowing.
That's great. No, Brigo is amazing.
Yeah.
He beat me in chess 3 times in a row.
I take the bet. I have not collabed with him, but when I was setting it up, he helped me out through it, and then we played several rounds of chess. And I suck at chess, so he said that I'm on the anime dudes level, which is like, oh, is that good?
I should have beat him twice, but I fucked up really bad. I blundered my queen the second time, and the third time, it was a really short round, so I was just trying to make him run out of time. So I wasn't focusing at all, and then he beat me with 3 seconds left.
I just have no strategy, and that's something I need to work on. But I don't have time to play chess all the time.
Are we gonna see you in the next chess tourney?
Probably not. If I'm invited, then I probably will. But by the most part, I'll probably be eliminated the first 2 rounds.
Alright, I know who to recommend for the chess tourney now.
Easy victory, man. Congrats on some of your newest videos. The latest, I'm talking about more of your newest songs. That's what I meant to say. The latest one that you made is called Blend E. Then you got Gotta End, and of course you have Love Is War. Oh, what is your process of making the lyrics and the instrumental music of it?
Okay, so the instrumentals are never mine, but I do make sure to get fire instrumentals, whether it is hitting up the producer personally or just getting free ones on YouTube. But they're nice. Lyrics, on the other hand, another thing that people don't really know is that in real life, when I did the YouTube stuff back then, I also did music, and I had music videos and stuff. Maybe when I do a face reveal, I'll show you guys some of them, because they're not on YouTube anymore. They're pretty nice though. But so with anime, it's kind of different, because I see a lot of anime rappers, and I notice that they go out of their way to make every single line about anime, and I just don't fly with that, because that's not me. Like, I'll throw in an anime line every now and then, but I don't want the entire song to just look like, oh, every line needs to be about anime, because that kind of, I guess, I don't know, because it doesn't feel like a song anymore. It just feels like who can get the most lines in about anime in this one verse. And those songs aren't really that enjoyable to me unless like the theme is about one anime, which like Love Is War is obviously about that Kaguya-sama. So that's a little bit different. But like if it's a different song, I would just rap about whatever and then throw in a few anime lines, just if they make sense. And yeah, that's about all I think about when I write. My upcoming songs though, some of them are not about anime at all. Like Gotta End wasn't about anime at all. Most of mine have been.
I think I don't care about rap too much. I did like your songs, don't get me wrong. I'm just not the biggest rap guy. I don't listen to it all the time. I think the only person I really listen to is probably Rushage, but that's just because I like what he makes. I think he's a good one. Cause
Rustage is nice.
Rushage, every time I see him making music, I'm always excited and I always listen to it. I think my favorite one is the Soma one, honestly.
Yes.
I think that one was just amazing. Going off of that question, what is your favorite part about making these raps or songs?
Well, probably just people's reactions to them. Now, I've never been someone to care like that much about what people think, because obviously if you do, then that could end badly if people think badly of you, and you could take it to heart. But at the end of the day, it's still nice to see people enjoy something that you made and that you put like a bunch of hard work into. Because when they say that they personally enjoy this, they're adding it to their playlist or they listen to this all the time, it's like, damn. They're really listening to something, unironically, that I like, that is just me. Like, it's me, my embodiment of this song. And it's really great. Yeah.
Do you post it to Spotify?
No, but I'm going to get Spotify very soon. So,
okay.
That's something.
That's something I can look forward to. I was like, do I have it? No, I don't. Because like, I think I might. I do listen to it in the car. I just usually just put on YouTube once in a while in the car, but that's about it. I usually just use Spotify for music and all that fun stuff. Usually, I just have a dedicated thing to just like. I think one of my favorite things is just orchestrate anime music, because I think I like higher paced beats and all that. Just stuff I can drum to that is like fun for me to play.
Yeah.
So, because I'm a drummer, and I like playing beats that are kind of faster paced. That kind of gets my blood kind of pumping a little bit. I know several of the songs I can play by heart with listening to the song, and even not listening to the song is the Fairy Tale main theme. Both of them. The main one, the very first one you hear, the main theme.
Okay.
And then Dragon Force, I think that's the song title of it. I can play that. So, and there's several other things I can play. Attack on Titan Season 3 Opening 1 I can play. 'Cause that one's actually very simple once you actually learn the beat and all that. Most of the time whenever I drum, I always watch someone play it first, and then I pretty much imitate them and then throw my own spin on it. Pretty much I want to imitate them to the way that I can get this beat and then make it my own. So
Yeah.
I think that's one of my favorite things about doing it. But so going into your YouTube channel, what were you planning on doing with your channel, and what was your main goal?
Okay, so I'm obviously in the AniTube community right now, and I plan to be like chilling with the community for a while, probably until I'm done with YouTube. But I don't want to be seen as just an AniTuber. At least for now, I guess that's fine. But in the future, I want to be known as more than just like, oh, that guy makes anime videos. I want to be seen like, oh, that guy makes anime videos. He also makes vlogs sometimes. He also does music. He also like does short films and stuff that I can incorporate from my real life skills into this channel. I think would be what I want to be seen as. And my goal, besides like a big amount of subscribers, because that's every YouTuber's goal. I feel like if you're a YouTuber and you say that you don't want a lot of subscribers, I feel like you're lying. Like, you don't need to be necessarily working towards it every day, but I think every YouTuber wouldn't mind getting 1 million subscribers. Let's be real here. I personally am striving towards a huge amount of subscribers. That's just me. If you don't want to, that's fine. If you're just doing it for fun, that's fine. But I'm treating it as more than just a hobby, even though that is what it is right now. And so my goals are a lot bigger than I feel like most are, especially in the anime community, because the anime community, AniTube community, isn't exactly the biggest with our creators. Like I'm pretty sure the biggest anime YouTuber only has like 3 million, and I'm honestly aiming higher for that, which sounds preposterous, but I don't care. I'm aiming for it anyways.
Yeah, aiming high is always for the best. Like, my outro is always fly high. Because what I look at it through fly high, it's obviously from Haikyuu. Because the way I look at it is, flying high is you aim for the best. You want to become big. And you want to have small goals. Yes, small goals are always great. You want to have that, oh, I want to get 100 subscribers, or I want to get up to 1,000. Which someone seems like the most reasonable. But you want to have this outrageous goal. Like, such as, right now I want to get to 1 million subscribers, or right now I want to become the very best at YouTube. I want to pass PewDiePie. Stuff, like, even though that's almost unreal. PewDiePie's at 100 million subscribers. It's almost unreal.
Yeah.
Catching out of Markiplier is almost unreal. But it can happen. If you have that type of mentality, just having something so big as a goal will drive you to become better with yourself and constantly improve. And people will, hop onto that and which support you, and that's why people grow, is because they have this big goal. But
I feel like especially people that are competitive in life, they do sports or other competitive things, they can definitely relate, because even though they know that they may not be close to the best in what they do, they strive to be the best no matter what others will say about them. And that's pretty much how I'm taking my approach to YouTube right now.
I mean, that's how I approach in volleyball, because I can't spike really well. So I was the setter of my volleyball team up at my college. We weren't really like a team. We were just more like a club activity, and like they were all good, and I had to try and figure out a way to bring out their 100%, and it took a little bit, but after I got used to the way they like it and all that, I got better at it, and I got better receiving. I'm still terrible at spiking, don't get me wrong. I want to spike the ball at one point, but I'm just not the best at it yet. I can't jump so well, so that's why I'm more onto the receiving and sending side. I don't have to jump super high. It would be nice to jump higher. I think that's the one thing I've been training myself while I've been working out. So So,
That's good.
going to question number 8. When you go into a new anime season or just trying to find a new anime to watch, let me rephrase that. An anime that you have been recommended to watch. What genre would you say you mostly enjoy and want to watch more of?
Okay, there's 2, and it's seinen and shoujo. Those are 2 really, I guess, genres that I like a lot. I guess shoujo can also fall with like romance and stuff. So that, and then the seinen's obviously like the psychological thriller type of animes, your Tokyo Ghouls. Even though it's shonen, I guess, officially, your Death Notes, your Code Geass as well, I would consider those seinen. As opposed to like shonen, which I personally categorize as like the Dragon Balls, the Narutos. And then shoujo, when I think that, I'll think like Fruits Basket, even like Orange. And then obviously the romance, I guess, can be the third one, which would be like the Kaguya-samas, the Tonikaku Kawais, the Rent-A-Girlfriends, all those type of things. Toradora especially.
I love
Toradora. Was freaking hard. So I guess it's 3, because I guess shoujo and romance can be kind of different. Because shoujo's more towards girls, and romance isn't always towards girls.
I think shoujo, the only thing I can remember is Fruit Basket, and I haven't finished it. I only got to episode 3, so
Ouch.
It wasn't for me.
That's understandable.
But I can see why. It's like one of those animes that I can understand why people watch it. I think there's only a couple anime that I would say like I don't know how people watch it. If you've seen my very first Warm with Cyanide and even my second video of this interview series, I go on hard about Serial Experience Lane. I do not like it. I will 100% tell you I hated that show to the core. I think that was like the one anime I'm like, how does people like this show? But most of the time I'm like, I can understand why people like it. Shoujo, I just haven't really been. Do you recommend any good shoujo or?
Well, if you didn't like Fruits Basket, I actually search for shoujos. I can't think of any off the top.
I'll play.
Seems like it's off the top of my head. Oh, actually, first one that popped up is one that I do like a little bit. There's this one called Monthly Girls Nazuki-kun, but it's not my first recommendation.
Okay.
So never mind. Oh yeah, okay. There's 2 or 3. No, 2 because I don't think you'd like the third one.
Okay.
Orange. It was a pretty good show. It's not one of my favorites, but it's definitely different. Like it's not your typical shoujo manga or anime because it has. I'll explain a little bit. So the main girl is in high school and she gets a letter from her future self, and it pretty much tells her things that happen and stuff that she regretted, because it ends up in one of their friends dying, and the whole point is trying to like stop that from happening. But even though she knows that what's gonna happen, you can't change yourself to the point where you can change every single little thing. You're still gonna act how you're gonna act. So sometimes she can't do that, and it's really like nice to see. I guess it's a different. And then there's also Nana, which is really good. And then the third one I would say is Cardcaptor Sakura, but that is a magical girl show that most people would not be into. So I'm gonna leave it at that.
I'll probably go for Cardcaptor Sakura. I still need.
Low-key, it's kind of nice.
I still need to watch Madoka. So
Madoka Magica goes freaking crazy, bro.
I heard episode 3. I still have not watched it. I'm like, I know what happens in episode 3.
Not because like I feel like it's also crazy because like most people only watched it because it's not like your normal magical girl show, because like it's actually way different. I actually enjoy like Sailor Moon and Cardcaptor Sakura and stuff, so it's even better because I already enjoy stuff like that. And then seeing them put a totally like twist on it was absolutely phenomenal, and I loved it.
Yeah, I think mine is obviously probably comedy. I think comedy is like one of the big ones I always go to. I
feel like romantic comedies.
Oh, romantic comedies are amazing. I think what I would consider that is like Kaguya-sama, but
yeah, especially Kaguya-sama.
I love rom-coms. I love any type of comedy. I think my favorite comedy of all time is Konosuba. I can't really.
Konosuba is really great.
I actually was on YouTube earlier today. I saw a bridge. I'm like, why would you abridge something that's so perfect?
Yeah, how can you abridge something like Konosuba?
And
Konosuba feels like it abridged already.
Yeah, I actually watched it and it was just like, What am I watching? Like, none of the jokes were hitting me at all. Like, they had Cosma even more perverted. It was just
that kind of sucks. I would not tackle on something like that.
I-
If you're gonna try and make something funny, do something that's already serious.
yeah, like Naruto. Like a bridge of that
Yeah.
would be funny. Dragon Ball was funny. That bridge for Team
SAO
4-Star.
abridged is great.
Oh, I love SEO.
Those Dragon Ball abridged or Dragon Ball Z abridged is absolutely fucking amazing.
You also
I
have.
think my favorite of that might be the Broly movie one.
Oh
The
yes,
original Broly.
but he's so
Oh,
cool.
Princess Trunks. Yeah.
I love that. I think my favorite one was Vegeta. How they portrayed him. It was just
Yeah.
beautiful. I think Team 4-Star did like one of the best jobs I've seen in a long time of a bridge, and no
For
one
sure.
can. It's really hard to top them. I think the only one. I like the 7 Deadly Smuts. I like that one, but that's about it. Oh yeah, and the Yu-Gi-Oh bridge. That was funny. But there's only certain ones I would watch. But I think the only ones I would watch is Dragon Ball and SAO. But yeah, number 9. Has there ever been an anime that was really hard to get into, but you gave it a chance and continued to push through it, and then the more episodes you watch, the more you liked it? And if there was, what was it?
There's 2, and they're both in my top 10. First one is Evangelion, because the first time I watched it, I was at a friend's house and he was asleep, and I was like, okay, I'm going to take this opportunity to like just steal this man's Netflix real quick and watch something. Watch the first episode of Evangelion. I actually watched it in dub because I was back when I was in my dub phase. I thought it was okay, and I didn't really care much for it, and I just didn't continue the show. So I only watched the first episode, and then later on, I watched all of it in the sub, obviously, the original version. And it's my favorite show of all time. I don't know why I didn't like it when I first watched it. I guess, I don't know, it just didn't hit me, but now I love it. The second one is JoJo's, because when I watched JoJo's Part 1, I watched like the first 3 or so episodes really quickly. I thought they were amazing. And then there was like a couple episodes in the middle that were kind of weird. Like it was after Jonathan versus Dio the first time and all that stuff, but it was before the end. And I just found that really hard to watch. So it took me like a couple months to actually go back and finish JoJo's Part 1. And then I watched Part 2 really fast. And then I watched like the first 10 episodes of Part 3, and then that got really slow. And then I came back to JoJo's and finished the rest of the series super fast and caught up on the manga. So I guess that's another one that I love, but it took me forever to actually get into all the way.
I think for JoJo's Part 1, Episode 1, just the introduction of Dio, I liked. After that, it got really boring. I almost dropped it, but I heard so many great things about it. And then Part 2 hit, and I was like, I'm watching this. Part 3 hit.
The thing about Part 3 that I didn't like, because it was really great at the start, and that's why I mean after like the first 10 episodes, because then it kind of became like a Power Rangers type of like villain of the week type of thing, where each episode was, oh, we're just got a new stand user, nothing's progressing, but we're just all that. But once they actually arrived to Egypt, that's when it really picked up again for me. But that little like stretch before that, I felt like it was repetitive, which is understandable because Iraqi was obviously playing around with the idea of stands and stuff, but it just wasn't the greatest to me.
Yeah, Part
I love
3.
the ending.
Oh, Part 3 ending is one of the greatest endings too. I like that's my favorite fight in anime.
Oh, for real? That fight went hard.
I think Gio versus Jotaro is one of my favorite fights of all time. But like you said, it was just really repetitive. Even at the Egypt point, it just seemed stale for me. I think there was only a couple fights. As soon as Darby was introduced, and I think there was another guy. As soon as Darby was introduced, I got hooked again. But
I think I liked the second half better because they were in Egypt, like they were so close to their goal that it seemed reachable. But before that, I was like, damn, when are they gonna actually get to Dio?
they're on a plane. Oh, that got crashed. Oh, they're on another plane. Oh, it crashed.
Yeah.
again. Okay.
And it's like, and it's mainly because we've been so invested in the Joestars versus Dio since Part 1 that you just want to see it. And it's like, when are we gonna get there?
Just hurry up, please. And then I think my favorite part of all time right now, I haven't read the manga. I haven't done anything. I think I've read a couple chapters of Part 6, but that's it. Part
dang.
Part 2 is my favorite part right now.
Okay, Part 2 is my favorite anime part as well.
And then I'll say Part 5. The second half of part 4, then part 3 second half. Because
I think my favorite. Oh wait, continue.
I like the. Don't get me wrong. I love the ending of part 3. I just found it really hard to continue watching. Part 4 was also one of those that was really hard to get into, and then the second half was just really good.
Yeah. I actually binged through part 4 and 5 like in the same like stretch of time, because after I got back into part 3, that's when I just finished all of JoJo's, and just I finished the rest of JoJo's in the span of like a couple weeks, because I binged the crap out of part 4 and 5 and then binged the manga. My favorite part of all time though would be part 7 actually.
That's what I hear. I'm like
part 8 is up there too, even though it's not finished. It is phenomenal. It is so much fun, and it's really unique to a lot of the stands, even though some of the stands are, one of the stands at least, is not original. Well, I'm not going to get into that because it is spoilers.
Oh man.
But yeah, part 7 and 8 are really great. I think part 4 was actually really great as well.
It was. I just couldn't.
I feel like why most people wouldn't like it is because at the start it's not, you know, building towards the main villain. It's just like introducing a bunch of these random people that don't really matter in the end.
I think for part 4, I think it was just the change of the art style was one thing, and then I got used to the art style. It just got, I wouldn't say boring. It didn't fill me with joy. As soon as Kira got introduced is when, holy crap, this just turned into really good. So that's what I felt. I gotta rewatch part 4 to get another stance on it, see if it gets better. Because I heard from someone else is watching it a second time, it seemed more better. So I'm like, huh, maybe I'll watch it again. But yeah, I think the main ones for me is JoJo's. I think Gintama was hard to get into at first. Even though it was funny, it was still hard to get up to that point of episode 70. Mob Psycho was hard until episode 5. Vinland Saga until 3. And all those like top 20 for me. Oh.
Damn.
I really like all those. But yeah. Number 10. What do you think is the hardest thing to overcome on YouTube?
I'd say probably getting your first 100 subscribers is pretty hard, but afterwards it gets a lot easier. I'm not saying it gets super easy, but like I feel like your first 100 subscribers are the hardest, and those show whether you really want to be at least like continue doing YouTube, because for some people it takes forever, some people it doesn't take forever, but like at least for me, my first 100 subscribers took longer than any other my hundreds after that. And I just feel like it's pretty hard, because like once you get past 100, you're like, oh, that's what it took to get 100. I can do this again. But until you get there, you're like, damn. Like, because when you look at like less than 100, not saying this is true, but a lot of people think like that's nothing. Especially if that's where you're at, because that's what I was like when I was at that. Because I had already had 200 subscribers, which isn't anything either. But I was like, damn, this is going nowhere. But once I was getting there, I was like, okay, you can get subscribers. You just got to keep putting in the work. And a lot of people fail to see that too. When they see these bigger subscriber people, they just see the number. They don't see the hard work put into that number. They'll be like, oh, why did he get lucky and get 1,000 subscribers? More often than not, especially in the AnyTube community where most people don't go viral for something retarded, they didn't get lucky. They most likely put in work. Some luck might be involved, but most of the big AnyTubers are for that reason. They put in work and had the drive. So I just think it's hard to find your drive, I guess, sometimes.
I think for me, obviously, I'm at 40 subscribers. The 100 is really hard, and it is demotivating. But honestly, I don't really care about the number. I think it's really good until I start to get 100. I even made a bet on Twitter, because I plan on streaming later on. But that's like down the road. I'm like, I'll boost up my streaming schedule if I get 100 subscribers by the end of September, which is going to be hard. I know the 100 I had to actually put in the work and show it, but I think the only time I may take a break is probably next week, just because I'm busy most of this weekend and it just will be hard to get a video out on Monday. But I might attempt to get it out on Thursday, and then Saturday is like the one day that I know I'll have a video out, because that's the one with Self to Sin. I think that's like the one goal. I really want 100 subscribers, but it isn't like the end goal for me, because I always have a goal after that.
Yeah.
I went over in my Saitama video that obviously Saitama, his goal was to become pretty much one punch any villain he wants, but he didn't have a goal after that. And when you don't have a goal after the goal that you have currently, then what are you going to do? You're going to become stagnant, and you're going to get bored because you achieve that goal. But where do you want to go?
Especially when it's with like us smaller YouTubers, it starts off with those few fans that are there for every single video, the ones that comment every single one, because they kickstart it, and then you got to find like an audience of like a core audience of some people that are there for you and your content, and then that's where they start recommending it to people when you see more people coming in. So definitely, if you're a smaller YouTuber, just find that like the ones that care the most and make sure to keep them there with your content and don't slack.
Do you have any future goals that correlate with YouTube, or any goals ahead of you that you would like to love to accomplish, not just in YouTube but in general?
Well, I'd say for now I really want to hit 100,000 subscribers. I actually think that's doable. I don't think that's going to be super hard, which I'm not trying to come off as cocky, but I feel like if I keep doing what I'm doing, especially now that I'm trying to make quality content, I feel like I could do it in the next like few years or so. And it might not happen, and I'm not going to be super mad if it doesn't. That's just what I personally think I'm going for. I also want, you know, a lot of listeners on Spotify, I guess, once I get that, so that would be kind of cool. And that's about it that I can think of now.
100,000 subscribers is really good. I think mine is just 1,000 at this point. I think my goal, if I had to say anything, is just to get monetized. I really didn't care about that too much. I was telling my mom,
yeah,
if I feel like, I told her after college, if I feel like I have a chance doing it, like say I'm at where Brigo is right now, if I'm in that type of opportunity where I know I can do it, then I'm going to take that year off and do what he's doing and try and actually make it. If I don't make it, I have a college degree, I have a job that I can go into, and I'm not just putting all my eggs in one basket. Like, obviously, during that one point, that 1 year, I will be putting a lot of my eggs into that one basket, but I will have a backup plan. But if it doesn't come out to that, and I don't have the opportunity, then I'll try and continue making content, but I still have my degree that I can go into this job and still be successful in life. That's what I'm aiming for, and that's what I think most people should know, is that
you should have a backup plan.
yeah, if you don't have a backup plan, you say, oh, I'm going to become a YouTuber. It's not always, if you don't have quality content for one, you're not a hard worker for two, and sometimes it does require luck. And
yeah, some people don't realize, like, some days I'm working on YouTube more than a 9 to 5 would be working. Like, sometimes you have to put in so much time, and I don't think people understand that when they're not doing YouTube, especially when they're not putting out like more than a video a week or something. Or like, because when I was doing 3 videos a week, I was literally spending all day every day connecting with people, doing video related things, doing collabs, editing, and thinking of ideas, writing scripts. So you got to be willing to put in as much work as if you had it as a normal job, because your goal is going to be to have it as your job. So it's not easy. It's definitely not as bad as a 9 to 5, depending on who you are. I would rather do it than a 9 to 5 for sure. But it's not easy by any means. So you got to be ready for that too.
I think another thing that some people don't know is that I have pulled several all-nighters for this.
Yeah.
And
Exactly.
it's hard because you still gotta edit, because if you don't edit at all, then how are you gonna get people invested? It's just your voice. And when it comes to me, I look at it this way. It's nice because I can put my voice in the background, but I don't want to listen to my voice. And I usually, if I'm watching a YouTube video, I want some type of visual, and if I just have this black screen or just the avatar floating around, I'm just gonna be like, okay, maybe I'll turn on the background and just forget about it. I want videos that can be more memorable, and obviously I'm not the best editor around, not even close. I think I still have so much to go through, but I want visuals, and like obviously for these type of videos, more of a podcast type edit, so I'll edit some visuals in, but it's just more or less was shown on the screen, and it's harder to edit for these type of videos because they are so long. And I have deadlines for these because each video is gonna be published every other week, and I want guests every other week. And now I have 4 weeks ahead of myself, so I'm really good at this point. So I think I'm ahead of myself. I got time to make more scripts. I got time to schedule the next guest. I got time for everything, and it's gonna be so much easier. But it is really hard to become a YouTuber. But in life, what do you believe to be the hardest to overcome? And if your past self or someone had this problem, what would you tell them?
Just in life in general?
Yeah, just in life.
That's a really deep and philosophical question there, sir. Okay, so I feel like for me, it would be don't focus on the things that you can't control, which people will hear this all the time, but don't focus on the things you can't control, but focus on the things that you can. But I feel like people should really take that to heart, because people will be, not only that, they'll be too focused on others too. Like, this person's doing that. Like, why are they there? It's like, you should not be focused on other people. You should be focused on yourself. Especially, like, I feel like people try to compare themselves to others too much, and I used to do that too. But you shouldn't be mad that someone else is ahead of you, especially if they're in the same community. You should actually be happy for them, but you also shouldn't accept that you'll be lower than them forever. You should still be willing to put in the work and try and get higher, but you don't have to make everything a big old competition. So that's probably the main thing. Just work on yourself first before thinking about others, because chances are they don't care that like that much either. I don't know. Yeah. I tried saying something deep, but it didn't come out right. But there you go.
I mean, I heard it just fine. So, when it comes to just life in general, it is hard. Because I know my past self focused on the small things.
Yeah.
And so many other things that are
that's-
completely out of my control.
Don't get hung up on the little things either.
I think
Even if it is something that you can't control, like if it happened in the past, just leave it in the past. Definitely learn from it, but don't get hung up over it.
me now, I'm a lot better than I used to be. And I think with me evolving from going from caring so much about the little things to like, why the hell do I care? Oh, someone judged me. Okay, good for them. I mean, judge me all you want. This is me.
Yeah.
So there's sometimes I had a comment on one of my videos that got deleted, not by me. He deleted himself, and it was just like, this guy was talking about how I was a wannabe Nastaku and crap. I'm like, okay, thank you. I'll take that as a compliment. I mean, whenever people say something negative to me, I always try and turn around into a positive now. And that's like one of the best things to do.
Yeah.
I know at work, there's several bosses I don't care about. And I think one of the best, my favorite pastime is obviously kind of angering them. But I don't do it in the way like I'm a hard worker. I'm still going to continue doing my job. I just like, not pushing the buttons, but just more or less making jokes. And then they get upset with me. But I know there's one I don't care about whatsoever. What do you usually do whenever you feel down or just not doing your best?
Well, I try to hang out with my family, which sounds, I don't know. Because I already hang out with my family a lot. But, like, if I'm feeling down, even if it's, like, not even... Because, like, I don't really get down like that. Like, I don't get, like, depressed or anything. But sometimes, like, I feel like every human does. They get down over, like, the stupidest things. And for some reason, they'll just be in a bad mood. But I feel like when I'm with my family, I'm chilling. And, like, you can obviously be yourself around your family most of the time. And it just kind of takes pressure off you. Because you feel at home because you're obviously with your fam. Or even hanging out with friends. Just surrounding yourself with good people, I feel like always can lighten the mood and make you feel better. And if I don't have anyone to hang out with, I'll probably just watch anime or listen to music. I don't know, just unwind.
I said a similar question to Cyanide, and my response pretty much didn't change. I usually would watch Konosuba because I would always get a good laugh from it. If I'm if I'm angry, I'm gonna go out and do something like work out, do something that will benefit me while taking out my anger.
That's amazing.
And like,
I always work out in the morning.
oh yeah.
I gotta do it with.
Whenever you're like, hanging out with family is one thing, but if I'm angry, I don't want to like just release all that. So I'm gonna go out into the garage or go outside and do a run, do some type of exercise, so that.
I don't know why I didn't bring that up. Going on runs are great for unwinding.
You can unwind, and then if you have that same issue, you're a lot more calmer, and your parents always get it for you, and that's what some kids don't know. And my mom and dad has helped me through a lot of things like that. So it's always nice to have that.
Which does kind of tie back to why I started YouTube. Sometimes like when you're down, like you just watch your favorite YouTuber, which I didn't necessarily do exactly that because I don't really have, I didn't have specific YouTubers that I watched, but I remember a lot of times when I was younger, I just go on YouTube whenever I get the chance and like just watch stuff, and it would be really nice and make me forget about things. And I want to be that for someone. Like I want to be their go-to to get away from the shit in life. I would want to be the guy that they're like, that dude makes me forget about the bad stuff. Because whenever I'm watching his videos, I'm having fun. I'm having a blast. So, yeah.
I think when it comes to streamers and stuff, I think the people I always watch to bring up my mood is, I think Brigo is one I like to watch. Nastaku, obviously.
Brigo's a great streamer.
Breeze is always very interactful. Even when he has so many people in chat, he still is very interactful. He's one that I can see, like, he's very kind at heart, and he's a very immense Chad. So, he has, like, the side, in my eyes, I can see him as, like, a leader. So, and that's, like, one of his more positive aspects of himself. So number 13, oh, that was the same one. Number 14, I mean, how did you get involved with the anime community? Like, how did you first get introduced to it?
I didn't even realize there was, like, an anime or anitube community. Until RTL Faith hit me up. I think it was him because he invited me to his little group chat of anime YouTubers or whatever, and I was like, okay, you know, that's cool. I didn't realize that it would lead to bigger things, and then I ended up going on their podcast, first collab thingamajiggo I've ever done outside of my friends in the Weebordo podcast, and I didn't remember any of their names when I did the podcast. I just like went along with it. It was Naruto. I'm not the biggest Naruto fan, but I've seen the show. Read the manga. I know enough about it. And after that, I needed a guest for my podcast, so I asked that chat because those are the only people I knew. And then Pokesol accepted it and went on my thing. And then Pokesol's the one that really introduced me to the AniTube community, made me realize there was a community. So pretty much thanks to Pokesol and RTL Faith that I am in the community at all. Because yeah, they kind of introduced me to it, and then I started meeting more people. And I still am meeting more people, so it's pretty great.
I think I knew there was an anime community. I didn't know about the anime community that you're in or RTL Face. I didn't know who some of you guys were. I think the only one I knew was you, and that was just from that Hunger Games video that I watched, I don't know how many, whenever it was released. And I was like, and then I got invited to the same chat, and I was like, what is this? What is this? I just saw a bunch of messages on. And I'm like, I don't get messages unless I send them out. And I just saw like the anime community. I'm like, huh? I thought it was just like Nastaku, Animac, like some of the bigger ones, and maybe some of the smaller ones I knew about. But it was just like there was actual community that I did not know about until now. And then I did a stream with RTL Faith against Naruto vs. Black Clover, which he kicked my rear end in. Then there was the guy named Ezekiel that I did a collab with on his channel. Number 15 is kind of similar to my number 3rd question. On your channel, you used to have this series called FanFit Friday. What was some of your favorite pits? What was some of your favorite pits and highlights from that series?
Oh my god, the nostalgia. I actually want to bring that series back someday. That used to be one of my favorite things to do. It just didn't get as many views as I hoped, so I stopped. Oh man, I guess the highlight of that was just messing with people, because some people I actually thought those were like legit ships. I'm not a shipper by any means. I hate the shipping community, but I would get the most outlandish ships and just ship them together. I freaking did like Yugi and Kaiba. I did Pokesol and me one time, I think. I've done like the weirdest freaking things. Even people from other shows, I just don't know why. And I always made those videos literally the day before. Like I wrote them all the day before too, and just recorded them and edited them real quick. So they were really easy too. And I guess the highlight is pretty much just making people hate me.
For me personally, when it comes to ships, I'm not the most knowledgeable. I want to say I'm invested into them. There's some I was like, I really hope it does happen. Yeah. Because don't get me wrong. I don't know if people. I hope someone doesn't spoil this for me. I've not read the Food Wars manga. I'm really into Aaron and Soma. I want them to be together.
No, it's about him and Megumi, bro.
Oh, come on, man. Megumi's amazing.
Actually, no, I'm actually getting more into him in Arena lately. But also, I kind of like Nikimi.
Nikimi?
Yeah.
I like, I'm trying to remember who I shipped. I like Megumi and Aldini. I don't know why. I like Megumi a lot. I think...
No, more recent times, I'm like, okay, Megumi and Soma are kind of, they'd be cool as, like, just friends as well.
Yeah.
Because, like, when I first started the series, I was like, okay, him and Megumi for sure.
That's what I thought, too.
I'm kind of leaning towards both that and Arena.
I would be fine with Megumi, but I love Arena.
Yeah.
If Megumi gets Soma, then I want Arena. But, yeah. I think that's, like, one of the ones, I think, the only other ones that I can say, I'm going to say invested into, but I would love to see is Gintama. There's Gintoki and Suki. I keep on forgetting her name, but Sukoyo. I think that's her name. I think she's the one I really like. And then One Piece, there's Frankie and Robin, Zoro and Tashigi, Luffy and Boa, and Nami and Sanji. I think that's the most knowledgeable I am in ships. I don't know all the ships in anime. I really don't really care to. I think those are my main ones I care about. I want to say care, but I would love to see it happen. So we got to have a serious question in all my various interview series. You probably know what's coming up. I don't know if you've seen the very first one, but this is the most serious question. I hope you're ready. It's going to get into a deep philosophical meaning.
I have a feeling you're lying.
Who would win in this ultimate showdown? Light Yagami or Lelouch? My first non-Mimi one.
I was actually gonna make a video on that, but I don't think I am. But I feel like Light for one reason, and it's because Lelouch actually cares about his ties. You know what I mean? Like his sister and stuff. He's not willing. He would never sacrifice his sister to win. At the end of the day, he's protecting his sister over everything. Light will sacrifice anything to win, besides his own life. So I feel like Lelouch is obviously a better strategist. Light took way bigger risks that didn't need to be taken, I feel like, a lot of the times. But I feel like at the end of the day, if Light's going to win, it's going to be because of that. Because he doesn't care about anyone else besides himself towards the end of the series when he goes full God mode. And Lelouch does actually care about people around him for the most part. And that's why he does what he does. Because he wants to save Britannia, obviously, or not Britannia. He wants to make Britannia better and save Japan and all that stuff. Light, at the start, you can kind of see that with him. He wants to make the world a better place, but at the end, it's more like anyone opposes me, I'm killing them. Yeah. So I feel like that's why Light would win.
I think Light, you have a sound argument. I agree. And just pure brain power and strategishness, I think Lelouch really tops him. I think Lelouch is smarter.
Yeah.
And all that, but it's just like Light was willing to give up his dad, like his dad,
and his sister.
Yeah, like he was like willing to kill them both just to keep his secret. It was just like I can see like Lelouch using that Gios to just control Light, but Light, all he has to do is like, well, if you don't do what I say, then not only is getting rid of this notebook. So, and there's nothing you can do against that unless you try and take the notebook, which is hard. So, and we've seen it, and it's only been successful a couple times. I won't say how, but yeah, that's like the major serious question we had to get into. My other ones are more memey. This one I made a little bit more serious, but there's gonna be a lot more meme ones down the road. But number 17 is my final question, and it's the question that's always gonna be on my interview series. The final question almost all the time is, do you have any advice you would love to give any new people coming into the anime or just YouTube in general or Twitch?
Pretty much just stuff that I've been saying already. Like, don't care about what people say. Don't, get let down by certain things. You got to stay motivated and always remember why you're doing it. If you're doing it for, yourself, like some people do it because they're depressed and have nothing else to do and they start YouTube. If you're doing it to feel better, do that. If you need something to do, you need a hobby, I guess, do that. If you want it to be a job, definitely put in the work and do that. So yeah, just also, I think collabs also help a lot. I didn't touch on that much. Because once I started doing collabs, I also noticed because with collabs, you're having one fan base that is totally has not seen you at all, exposed to you. So you gotta get other people's fan bases too, which is a little bit of stealing, but hey, everyone does it. It's pretty great. Collabs have helped me a lot.
Collabs are really nice. I haven't done too many collabs. I plan on doing a little more in the future other than this interview series on my channel. Thanks for so much for coming on to this interview series, my man.
Heck yeah.
So I do have one last thing. Who is my next guest that no one else will know other than me and that next guest? Thank you so much for coming out to this interview series. You guys have a wonderful rest of the night. And remember to fly.